Hi, I'm Karen Collins, and today I have Doug Paddon-Jones, who is Associate Professor at the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston, and a researcher doing some really groundbreaking things in the area of how diet might affect muscle protein creation and breakdown. So the two places you see this being really significant, let me make sure I've got this, are somebody who's hospitalized or put on bed rest, something like that, where it becomes, the impact becomes fast. Or it does matter for long-term health as a chronic lifestyle. It's just don't think you're going to see the effects this week, this month, but know that over time, if you're not distributing your protein, it's not just for people on bed rest. It's like people like me.
People like me.
Is that right?
Absolutely. If we put anyone, we run bed rest studies where we put healthy adults in bed rest from periods up to 90 days, as short as a week. And we found when we put young, healthy adults, these were the NASA studies, were interested in what happens with the inactivity in spaceflight. Bed rest is a good model. Young guys will lose, it's about half a pound or a pound of muscle just from their legs over 28 days of bed rest. That's a reasonable amount of muscle. But when we put older adults in bed rest for just 10 days, these guys were about 70, that's almost 3 times as much muscle, 2 pounds of muscle just from their legs.
And that's healthy, so they're not even in a catabolic state due to illness or anything like that.
Once you throw in poor nutrition, inflammation, cytokines, that accelerates. And we know if we provide additional well-timed protein, we can reduce that loss of muscle mass. And if you can do that in a clinical population, you've got a lot more raw material, muscle hopefully function to work with during recovery. And for anyone working in a clinical setting, we know we're terribly interested in readmission rates. Early discharges is generally a good thing. And as I said, we have to feed these people anyway. So why not just pay a little bit more attention to it, and let's see if we can reduce some of these outcomes.
Okay. One more question for you. Exercise, we know, especially strength training exercise as a muscle building piece. Did I see in your studies it's about a 3-hour window after eating that protein is particularly effective?
Yeah. There's lots of, well, it's not really debate, lots of talk about timing of protein intake and exercise. But you certainly do get this window of, you get a bump in protein synthesis with just protein, and when you add exercise close to it, you get a synergistic additional response. Now, for most of us, it really doesn't matter so much over the longer term when you put that in, the exercise, so long as it's reasonably close. Now, if you're targeting the Olympics, or really focusing, or more importantly, really focusing on rehabilitation, if this rehab session with occupational therapy, physiotherapy are the only chances that day for you to get any meaningful exercise, then you need to be a little bit more targeted with your timing. You don't want to have your exercise rehab session tied to a bagel breakfast cereal breakfast. You've missed that opportunity to get the protein plus exercise bump. And just one side point, a lot of people think you need to do the strenuous resistance exercise training to get that muscle benefit. Not really true. You will, obviously, if you're wanting to hypertrophy, grow muscle, resistance exercise is the way to go. But if you combine aerobic type exercise, or even just walking, standing up, you can still get that bump in muscle protein synthesis. We're seeing that a lot with our clinical patients. If we just get them out of bed, they're going to have better outcomes. So it's not just about the high intensity resistance training.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for taking this time today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And stay tuned for more great information coming on other Smart Bites interviews.